Hi guys, and welcome to Classic TV Facts and Trivia. Thank you for being here. Today's video is on Happy Days. Marion Ross, who played Mrs. C, said the cast member was unkind to her from the start of the show and literally said, "Who gives a shit, Marion?" Set in the 1950s Milwaukee, Happy Days was a favorite with television audiences for its big laughs and schmaltzy sentimentality. It's a feel-good show with the right actors and ensemble cast. Behind the scenes, as is often the case, actress Marion Ross, who played the show's star Ron Howard's mother Marion on the show, revealed that the atmosphere was a difficult one for her, especially in her first years on the show. According to the beloved TV mom, her days were anything but happy. As the actress recounted in her memoir, "My days, happy and otherwise," getting chosen for a major role on a network sitcom was not something she thought would happen. Ross felt that at her age it was almost an impossibility. The night Happy Days debuted, I was a 46-year-old divorced woman who was the mother of an 11-year-old girl and a teenage son. I was thrilled that Happy Days had been picked up, she wrote. I never allowed myself to think the show would become a big hit. None of us did. The huge differences between herself and her character on the show were not lost on Ross. I couldn't help but think that while I may have looked apart, there was a world of difference between Marion Cunningham and Marion Ross, she said. Marion Cunningham didn't have a career outside of the home. She didn't drive and always made sure her hair was perfect. Nothing prepared Ross for the treatment she was to receive from one cast member in particular. Her on-screen husband, played by Tom Bosley, seemed to genuinely dislike her, and Ross had no way of knowing why. Even placing her hand on his arm or shoulder while doing a scene together bothered him. Bosley didn't seem to mind humiliating his co-star in front of the rest of the cast and crew. Along with his aversion to my making any sort of physical contact with him, Tom also seemed irritated by just about anything I did or said. I remembered times during rehearsals when the cast and some of the technical crew would all be sitting around telling stories and laughing. It seemed that whenever I told a story, Tom would grunt and say, "Who gives a shit, Marion?" The two actors eventually warmed up to one another, as Ross tells it. Bosley, peppery and feisty, could also be a very dear sweetheart. As she would eventually discover, Bosley's gruffness was due in great part to his wife's terminal illness, which led to her death, his new role as a single father to their young daughter, and the depression that gripped him through it all. I may have once had mixed feelings about Tom, but I really did come to love him, and he and I became a wonderful pair, Ross wrote. Ross, who had felt when Happy Days started that the show was surely going to be one of the most difficult experiences of her life, saw, as time went on, that all of those involved on the show had become her family. Even Tom Bosley. The two actors had grown closer and trusted as friends. Bosley comments years earlier about not caring for her opinions or thoughts were obviously still on his mind, as she pointed out in her memoir. "One time we were all honoring Tom for something," she said. "I remember how after I had delivered my tribute to him, he got up, looked over at me and said, 'You know, Marion, I have a little secret to share with you. I do give a shit about you and what you have to say.'" Sorry about the language, but that's what they said and not what I said. I just think, I can't imagine going through that with, my wife with terminal cancer and, the fear. I can't imagine. But just to be grump on her, though, that's kind of weird. But I can't imagine what he went through, and I don't justify what he said, but I can understand, where he might have been at the time. It's just a sad situation. Glad they got to be good friends, actually. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please like this video. Please excuse the language. Please hype it if you don't mind. You guys have a great day. God bless you. Praying for you.